He had more gold than some entire countries. Kings traveled for months just to see his wealth with their own eyes. He never worked a labor job in his life, and yet he became, by some estimates, the richest man who ever lived. His name was Solomon. And 3,000 years ago, he wrote down the exact principles he used to build it all. Most people have never read them. Today, you will. But here's the twist: the first principle isn't what you think. Stick around, because rule number 3 is the one almost nobody follows, and it's the reason most people stay broke. So how does a shepherd's grandson end up ruling an empire and stacking more wealth than Wall Street bankers dream of today? It wasn't luck. It wasn't inheritance alone. It was a system. A specific mindset laid out in detail in one of the most overlooked books of the Bible, Proverbs. Solomon didn't just get rich. He wrote the manual. And the first rule he gives us? It's about where money actually comes from. Most people get this backwards. Principle 1: Work before wealth. Solomon looked at the smallest creature he could find for his first lesson, the ant. Go to the ant, you sluggard, consider its ways and be wise. It has no commander, no overseer, no ruler, yet it stores its provisions in summer. Proverbs 6 verses 6 to 8. Translation for 2026: Nobody's watching you at 11 p.m. when you're deciding whether to scroll your phone or work on your side income. The ant doesn't need a boss standing over it. It just does the work. Solomon's first money rule isn't invest early or find a side hustle. It's simpler and harder: consistent, unsupervised effort. That's rule 1. But Solomon knew something else, something that trips up almost everyone who finally starts making money. What happens the moment cash starts flowing in? Principle 2: The danger of fast money. Solomon wrote, "Wealth gained hastily will dwindle, but whoever gathers little by little will increase it." Proverbs 13 verse 11. Sound familiar? Lottery winners going broke within 5 years. Crypto traders 10x ing a portfolio then losing it all in one crash. Solomon called this out 3,000 years before the internet existed. Fast money doesn't just disappear because of bad luck. It disappears because people who get rich quickly never built the habits to keep it. Slow money forces you to build the skill of managing money. Fast money skips that step entirely, and that's exactly why it evaporates. So if speed is the trap, what's the actual strategy Solomon says builds wealth that lasts? This next one is the rule most people flat out ignore. Principle 3: Give before you grow. Here's the one nobody follows. Honor the Lord with your wealth, with the first fruits of all your crops, then your barns will be filled to overflowing. Proverbs 3 verses 9 to 10. This isn't about religion. For a second. Just look at the mechanism. Solomon is describing giving first. Before you know what's left over. Not "I'll donate if there's extra at the end of the month." First. Why would giving first make you richer? Because it forces a mindset shift. You stop treating money as something you're scared of losing, and start treating it as something that flows through you, not just to you. People who operate from scarcity hoard and freeze. People who operate from abundance take smarter risks, network more generously, and build the kind of reputation that brings opportunity back to them. Solomon wasn't being generous for spiritual bonus points. He was describing an economic principle: generosity signals and builds actual security. Okay. Work. Patience. Generosity. 3 real principles. But none of that explains how Solomon got that rich. There's one more thing he did that most Bible teachers skip entirely, and it's the actual turning point of this whole story. Principle 4: The asset that multiplies everything. Because you have asked this and not asked for long life or wealth. I will give you a wise and discerning heart, so that there will never have been anyone like you, nor will there ever be. Moreover, I will give you what you have not asked for, both riches and honor. 1 Kings 3 verses 11 to 13. Read that again. Solomon asked for wisdom. He got riches as a side effect. That's the real principle underneath everything else in this video: money follows wisdom, not the other way around. The ant-like work ethic, the patience with slow growth, the generosity mindset, none of it works without the judgment to apply it correctly. Modern version, skills, knowledge, decision-making ability, that's the actual compounding asset. Money is just the output. This is why some people can lose everything and rebuild a fortune in a few years, while others win the lottery and end up broke. One group has the underlying asset. The other doesn't. So here's the real question this video has been building to. Solomon ended up with more wealth than almost anyone in recorded history. Ships bringing back gold every 3 years. Kings and queens traveling across deserts just to witness it. But by the end of his life, in the book of Ecclesiastes, he wrote something that should stop you cold. I amassed silver and gold, yet when I surveyed all that my hands had done, everything was meaningless, a chasing after the wind. Ecclesiastes 2 verses 8 to 11. The richest man who ever lived, the one who wrote the actual playbook for building wealth, is also the one warning us that wealth was never the point. He's not saying don't build it. He spent his whole book teaching you how. He's saying, don't mistake the tool for the goal. Work with consistency. Grow with patience. Give generously. Build wisdom above all else. That's the system. But remember why you're building it in the first place. Which principle are you starting with? Work, patience, giving, or wisdom? Drop it in the comments. Please subscribe now to our channel. God bless you.
Please pray and keep strong. Come back and visit us again. Visit our website, the link is in the description. Thank you, Lord Jesus Christ, for our life.